Hi, this is Buffy Hamilton. Welcome to my video tutorial on how to create a Google form for getting student participation and feedback. To get started, you'll need to log into your Google account and go to Google Documents. Once you're in Google Documents, then you can go to the Create menu, and from that drop-down menu, we're going to select Form. Once the form loads, you first need to give your form a title. So perhaps I want to create a form to find out what ebooks students are interested in reading for, say, a Kindle or a Nook that we have in our library. So I'm going to entitle this ebook request. If I need to put a help note, I can do that in this space here. So I'm going to write a brief note. Typing very carefully. And we'll do this one for our Kindles. First thing I'm going to do is to fill out the first question form. So perhaps I need to know their name so I know who is submitting the request. So I'm going to call this question title Student Name. From the drop-down menu, I can have open-ended responses. If it's a question that lends itself to multiple choice, check boxes, or choosing from a list, or perhaps even a scale or a grid type response, I could do that. I'm just going to go with paragraph text just so they have enough room to write their name. And I am going to make that a required question so that they are forced to do that. To edit the second sample question, I'm going to press the Edit, which is a button that looks like a pencil. And I'm going to ask them now to list their ebook request. So perhaps I'm going to call this Kindle ebook title request number 1. And the help text, I might just say something like include the title of the book and the name of the author. And if I feel like I need to recycle that, then I might want to go ahead and copy that just so I have enough space. And again, I'm going to choose paragraph text just so that they have plenty of space. I'm not going to make this a required question. These I might leave unrequired because they may not need to fill in all of those. But if you wanted it to be a required question, certainly, then you could do that. Now, if I want to add additional items, I just go to the menu in the upper left-hand corner and again choose the type of question that I want. So perhaps I will call this request 2. I can pop that in there. And if I wanted to at any point, if I wanted to slide questions around, you just simply drop and drag to do that. I'm going to add one more item before I apply a theme and then get the code to link to that form. So I'm now going to just repeat that one last time. Again, I'm not going to make that required. If I wanted to duplicate the question easily instead of doing it the way I've been typing, just one at a time manually, you can go in and duplicate question items. And then you would just edit it and modify it. So perhaps I'm going to give them space to do 5 ebook requests. And then maybe I'm going to have one final box and perhaps just add optional comments or additional requests. And again, I'm not going to make that required because they may not need to fill that out. So now I have my survey in place, and now perhaps I want to change the theme from plain to something a little snazzier. And if I go to theme, I have roughly 100 different things that I can choose from. And if you want to preview one, then you can click on it and it will give you a nice little preview screen so that you can see what the entire survey will look like. I'm pretty happy with that one, so I'm just going to go ahead and apply that now. And at this point, I could do several things. I could go through and grab the link to actually load that form, and if I click on it, I actually have the link. I could put that onto a page. I could put that on any website. If I want to embed it into a wiki page or perhaps my blog or some other web platform, I can go to More Actions and I can get the embed code. And that would be perfect to put on a tool like NetVibes, Google Sites, whatever really web platform you're using to share that. And then at that point, I could begin collecting the data. Now, once you have created the form and you want to go in and actually see your responses, you can do that one of two ways. I could go and view a summary, and right now I don't have any responses, of course. I could go in and see it in spreadsheet mode if I wanted to do that. And you can also pull this up from Google Documents, as I'll show you in a minute, and see the forms. But this is actually a nice feature that allows you to see all the information in one spreadsheet that looks somewhat similar to Excel. I'm going to close the form just so that you can see what it's going to look like, and it has been saved. So now if I hit F5 and I refresh my spreadsheets, here's that spreadsheet I just created that says ebook request, and now I'm in that form. And if I actually had responses, then I could go through and view all of those, and I could also turn this into a PDF file and print it very easily if I wanted a hard copy. If you wanted to actually go and see the form live, then you would go to Form, and then you could go to a live form, or you could get the embed code if you needed that. You could also pull the summary here. If you want to stop accepting responses, you could uncheck this option and close the survey. I'm just going to hop out to the live form. If I did need to do some editing to the form, I could also go to that edit option right there. But if I just wanted to preview it and take a look and see how it looked, then I could do that. So those are just some very basics of creating and using Google Forms for student participation, reflection, and input. And if you have any questions, please contact me through the unquietlibrarian.wikispaces.com. Thank you for taking time to watch this Google Forms tutorial.